Okay, we're sitting here today at the Horsens Statsfængsel at the Krimimessen with Zoe who wrote the book The Last Zoe, den sidste Zoe, som er udgivet herhjemme på Mrs. Robinson. But so, can you introduce yourself to the listeners?
My name is Zoe Ferraris, and the book that I've written, I don't know how you say it in Danish. Finding No. It's set in Saudi Arabia and is based on, it's a crime thriller, and I lived in Saudi Arabia for a year, about 20 years ago. I've had contact with that country many times since then. I lived in a very conservative neighborhood with a Muslim family. My ex-husband was from there. We have a daughter together. So I've lived inside the culture in a way, and I wrote the book to give people an experience of Saudi Arabia beyond just what they read in the news and what they hear on TV or film. My main character is a devout Muslim man who lives in a gender-segregated society. So according to his religious beliefs, he doesn't think that it's okay to talk to strange women, and yet he is also a good Muslim. He wants to find a wife, so he's in a situation that is a conflict for him. At the beginning of my book, there is a young girl who goes missing, the daughter of a friend of his, and he thinks that it was a murder, and he wants to find out more about her life, which in his version of Islam is not okay. He's not allowed to pry into a woman's life, but he does because he's more concerned about justice. Along the way, he meets a woman named Katya, who is a forensics specialist, forensics pathologist, technically. She also is connected to the family and also thinks that the woman was murdered. She's a more younger, modern, open-minded woman who thinks that it is okay to talk to a man, and she and Nair have to solve the crime together. Obviously, there's a lot of conflict between their points of view. But they have to work together because of gender segregation in order to solve the crime. So that's essentially what the book is about. I didn't go to Saudi Arabia thinking I was going to write a crime novel. It came many years later, the desire to write the novel. I have also written a second novel, a follow-up with the same characters, and I'm currently working on a third one. I think that it's become very popular, I think, because people are curious about the country and they want to know more. Saudi Arabia is a very closed country. They can't just get a visa to go in as a tourist. And it's in the news. It's something people care about, Muslims and
there's a cultural conflict everybody is interested in.
Yes, yeah.
Well, what is your view on this cultural clash between religions?
I think there are a lot of people on both sides who seem to want to fight. I think fundamentally, there are differences in between the West and what is a weird concept, the Arab world or the Muslim world, because there's so much diversity in both of those places. So I don't even really believe in the idea of a culture clash. It's a little, it's too general.
Just a Western way of making it easy understandable.
Yeah, it's kind of to make it digestible. It's actually, I mean, both sides are full of diversity in their thoughts about each other and in their own cultures. I think, though, that there are people on both sides who seem to want to fight.
Yes.
Those are the people we need to watch out for.
Yeah, the fundamentalists are the same if they're Christians or Muslims.
Yeah, in any country, and just keep an eye on them and not necessarily follow or start to really feel the anger that they feel, that they want you to feel. The best course of action is stay in your own mind about it and really think things through.
How do you think the development is going to be in Saudi Arabia? Will it be more modern, or do you think it will go in reverse?
I think there's definitely a movement toward everything becoming more modern. I think people are modern, and what we're calling modern is shedding some of the old traditions that aren't working for people anymore. But then there's also respect for the traditions. So it's a dance back and forth in these two tensions, and I think that especially with what's been happening recently, all of the the revolutions going on in Tunisia and Egypt and even Libya and Bahrain, that's going to affect Saudi Arabia, I think, to some extent. I don't think they're going to have the same kind of revolution.
Old wine and new bottles.
Yeah. I think it is affecting the culture, though, in a way. It's affecting the government now, making them, putting them under pressure. It's a good thing, and but every country's going to do it their own way.
Yes, for sure. How does it work in the States? I mean, there's a lot of Saudi Arabian and other Arabian people in the States. How is it the relation between them and the Americans?
It's complicated. There aren't that many Saudis in America. A lot of Iraqis, a lot of people from Afghanistan. I think there's been some tension in America, of course, especially lately with people burning Qurans and the states passing laws against Sharia. In general, though, I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's faring too badly. I think our big challenge is, just like I said, always keep an open mind about the guy you meet on the street who's who looks like a terrorist because he's Arab, and just always kind of keep away from those stereotypes.
Which part of the Western culture do you think the Saudis will be most likely to embrace? Embrace. This is something different.
Well, there's certainly an embrace for technology and all the sort of cell phones and computers and the internet and all that that's produced by largely America and the Western world. But I don't know.
Do you don't think there are any cultural traits that they would like to?
We have a lot of traits in common already. In terms of politics, democracy is being embraced right now.
But you don't think the fundamental things like women's equal rights and this kind of things will be
well, there's definitely
in a foreseeable future.
Yeah, I hope that's going to happen. I think that's the real challenge. Is to change a culture and a way of belief is a lot more difficult than changing your structure of government. Yeah.
The younger people you know from there, they are very determined to have changes, or they just want the technological wonders.
No, there's definitely a determination among the younger people that I know to change, particularly the attitudes toward women and the behavior of women.
Which comes out very clearly in your book, and that is how you see the situation now.
Yes.
They have all these problems.
Yeah. I think it's.
And I heard you say that you think you feel more pity for the men.
Yeah. I do. Well, I feel a lot of. It surprised me to go there and feel that the men were struggling with gender segregation as much as the women. So that has kept my interest.
It's not it's not the image you normally get, but of course it's very logical.
Right.
It should be like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You want more? We have about 10 minutes now.
Okay.
So,
I have
9. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know. I'm just like a mere cat.